Thank you, Professor. I will try to be brief. As you may recall, I chaired the session 2 on putting risk and reward participatory financial system to work, the experience from Europe, Middle East and Asia. And we had a group of practitioners from those 3 geographies. And to summarize, I think reading the body language as well as listening to what they were saying, there was a strong sense of frustration amongst all of them that they were working within the constraints of a system that they're existing within. So in fundamental terms, they were trying to run a system on Islamic values within a conventional system which did not necessarily recognize all of those values and had been built up in a different way. There was certainly a call to get back to basics, and we had quite a discussion about the element of trust and what that represented, as well as a clear indication that good governance and good ethics and morals were central to success. There was also a concern, a large concern, that whilst all banks face risk, the regulations and the regulators effectively regulate on the basis of a conventional background. And I think comment has come up several times in other presentations and discussion groups later, which goes back to the original point about the constraint of the existing system, and that new regulations would be required in order to encourage and develop this. And I think the final comment I would make here, which was pulling together all the information from 5 CEOs who are running participatory or Islamic banks, 2 of which I know very well. The other 2 were just introduced to me. But they're in this role because they believe in it. Not because they're making a lot of, great sums of money out of it. There is a passion about what they do, and there is therefore this frustration that they're working within a system that does need to be changed. And I think that the call was that if we're in a system which is effectively shifting risk and transferring it to the places which are least able to bear it, and we've seen that in the financial crisis, then at least let's give a risk-sharing system a better try and to regulate accordingly in order to encourage that. And at that point, I'd like to conclude the summary and comments and just say one final word, that the conference, from my perspective, and I think certainly from a number of the people I've spoken to, especially my students who've been attending this, has brought to a head critical issues that do need to be addressed. There are differences of opinion, of course there are, but we need to handle them in what I would call a mature and Islamic way. Everybody has a right to speak, everybody has a view and an opinion, but at the end of the day, as I said at the end of my presentation, or not my presentation, but my summing up yesterday, we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the recognition and the respect we give to each other, and that is to me, the purest form of worship. And I hope that we can certainly achieve that as quickly as possible. Thank you very much indeed for the opportunity.